Hello everybody. Today we're going to do Annihilation war game. This is a pen and write battle war game. Now what you need is grid paper. You can find that anywhere. A pencil and some dice. D6. That's what you're going to need. Now there's three different types of armies. You got the humans, the aliens, and the demonic forces. Now we're going to start with the humans. Now, level 1, humans are the ground troops on foot. These people can go 1 inch at regular pace, but they can hurry up and rage rush 2 inches 2 times a game. So make sure you mark it down when you use those. You only can do it 2 times a day. Game. Now, what they get is +1 on melee fighting. That's all your ground fight. If they're in the same square or the next 2 squares away of the grid paper, they get a +1. Your whole army, even the ones I'm about to discuss, if you're human. Now, what else you got is you get 1 reroll. So on ones. You get rerolls on ones. So if you roll 1, you get a reroll if you're at level 1 ground troops. Now let's get to level 2 of your army. This is going to be your tanks and jeeps and heavy artillery. Now this is interesting. They get to go 3 squares on the grid paper, and then they can do 2 times the rush, just like level 1, but they get to go 3 more squares. So let's say you wanted to go rush it twice in a row. That gets you 6 squares in 1 turn. But they do heavier damage. Let's talk about damage. Level 1 does 1d6 damage. Your level 2 does 2d6 damage. And they reroll on 2s. So if you ever roll a 2, you get to re-roll it. So you try to get a better number if you want. You can keep the 2 if you want. Now the point of the game is to roll higher now than your opponent. Now level 1 has 1 hit point, level 2 has 2 hit points. So if they take a damage, you mark a hit point off. And alright, let's go to level 3. This will be your high flying jets and bombers. They're going to be slightly different than level 1 and 2, but they will have the same rush distance. They won't have rush at all. They just can go 6 spaces each turn. Now, each one will have 2 actions, so each level will have 2 actions, even level 3. So you can hit 12 squares if you're on level 3 on a bomber or jet. You can hit it. But you will not have any rush or rage with those. And just like the other 2, you'll get to re-roll 3s. So you can keep the 3 or you can re-roll it if you want. Now, this will go the same with the other creatures too. This kind of rule of levels, you've got to re-roll it if you want. Now, humans will have 2 titans, 2 robotic titans, giants, about 100 feet tall, heavy armored. Now, these get rush. they get 3 rushes, and they get to do 3 actions, not like the other ones, and they have 35 hit points each. So, like level 1 only has 1 hit point per soldier, level 2 only has 2 hit points per soldier, and level 3 has 3 hit points per soldier. But your Titan each have 35. Now, let's talk about how barrier work. Before the game starts, you evenly mark a line on the grid paper, evenly, so everybody has the same amount of squares. It's 50-50. Now, what you want to do is make sure it's even. So count the squares and make sure it's even so everybody has the same amount on the battlefield. And before you start, you roll 1d4, see how many barriers you get. Now, before you start the game, put the barriers where you want them, and your opponent will do the same. Alright, that's how you play the game, basically. Now, Titans will do 5d6 worth of damage. When you roll 5d6. They don't get rerolls. So if you get a 1 or something like that, you just keep that 1. But they get to roll 5 dice at a time. Alright, that's humans and the basic rules. Now let's get to aliens. Aliens will have 3 armies as well, and 2 titans as well. Now they use the same basic rules, but instead of getting a +1 on melee for their armies, they get +1 squares of movement per army. So they can move 1 more square than the humans. But they don't get a bonus in melee attacks. That's only the differences between it. I'm coming out with artwork for this game as well. Now for the demonic forces. Now here you go. They got the same rules as the humans. I mean, exact same rules, except their titans only get 28 hit points. They get less than the human titans. But if they roll a 6 on their dice, they get to explode. And anybody around the square radius of 3 squares takes double damage. So that's the difference between the 3 classes you'll be fighting. Now, depending on how you like to play, you might like to... I like to pick the humans, because I would like to have +1 on melee attacks. I really would like to get close and personal. But you might like range attacks, or you might like quick movement. So there you go. There's the 3 classes. I'll be coming out with artwork for the game shortly. Alright, that is Annihilation. Enjoy the game.